then left it to burn in the ashtray. "You're looking well," he told her. "Having a good summer?" "Not as good as yours, apparently." She picked up the cigarette, flicked the ash, then placed it back in the ashtray. "Still teaching, I take it?" They looked at me then, and blood rushed to my face. "You both look like you could use some sleep," she said in a gravelly voice, pebbled with sarcasm. "How in the world can two people sleep in such a small bed?" I started to answer, but he cut me off. "It was great fun," he said. "You ought to try it sometime." "Oh, please, don't forget who you're talking to." She snatched up the cigarette, then put it down again. He grinned, and then he began to laugh. His body jerked, his face contorted, and a horrible sound filled the yard. I glanced at Sheila. She was looking at Dave like he was a bus that had just swerved and missed her by inches. I had signed up for Dave's workshop at the new school without knowing anything about him. After the class, I checked out 2 of his books from the school library and was charmed by his fumbling, searching narrator of his poems. Over the course of the remaining sessions, I deliberately confused the writer with his persona and talked myself into an attraction. At that time of my life, I was enthralled to the deceptive excitement of wishful thinking. So when the 10 sessions ended and Dave invited me to join his private workshop held in his Sullivan Street apartment, I accepted, even though it would cost more than I could afford. I was an editorial assistant at Random House, living in New Jersey, with my boyfriend George, who had to lend me money on a regular basis. For my first session, I read one of my newer confessional mode poems. Afterward, I was told to remain silent while the others critiqued my work. It was standard workshop procedure, but these writers, there were 7, were harsher than I was used to. One nasally voiced woman dismissed my work as a confessional peep show. Dave winced but said nothing. A young woman with a buzz cut talked about something called pathetic fallacy. A penis, she said, could not and probably should not greet one's hand.